So for all his voice is quite iconic and a lot of people do like it, I think, and I can't tell if this was maybe a blessing or maybe a hindrance in some ways that for all like the other performances, maybe if a mistake happened or something, they could adjust their voice and their tone to fit that particular scenario and still keep things rolling smoothly. Were there any difficulties that arose on your end if, say, something happened but the voice had to stay completely the same in terms of tone and stuff like that?
Yeah, another good question. Well, maybe I can explain a little bit how it is to play Scooby.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Um, so, um, but to do both at the same time, but to answer your question, for it was, let's say, easy. I think the harder job was for my cast, because basically, I play Scooby Doo for half the show. And then I share the role with another castmate who plays the other half. And so I am in the Scooby Doo um, puppet costume, and the voice of Frank is in sync with the music, which is also in sync with the visuals. Everything's in sync. Like when the show starts, you press play, everything like the show must go on whatever happens because everything is timed together. Of course, the actors they can adjust. Like if something happens, they can go faster, they can slow down, they can change their intonation, like you said. But Scooby's voice is part of that track. So yeah, so it's always going to happen. And playing Scooby is also a very special role, and there's a reason why we share it with another person. But it's you don't see very well. You're like kind of half blind. It's like very blurry. You can only really see the floor. Um, and you also don't hear very well. So I really kind of have to trust my colleagues, my castmates in everything, like even in where how we move in the space and everything. So kind of same for the voice. It's like I am gonna do what I always do, and you guys are gonna have to adjust um accordingly. Um yeah, so it's kind of more a tougher job for my castmates than it was for me.